Hello everyone. In the previous session, we discussed about what is frequency response analysis and what is border plot and how to sketch border plot. We know the main use of plotting or sketching any transfer function is for analysis purpose. Coming to frequency response of the system, if we consider an amplifier, we have to observe the gain of the system. That is, good system gives good amplification which results in good gain. If the amplification, that is gain, is not sufficient, the frequency response plot shows how much amount of gain that we can increase without making the system unstable by using gain margin. In the same way, if we didn't attain the required phase angle, the phase response shows how to increase or decrease the phase without making system unstable by using phase margin. Let us go to the concept and definitions of stability analysis in Bode plot. So the stability in Bode plot depends on mainly on two terms. The first one is phase margin and the second one is gain margin. The phase margin gamma is defined as the additional amount of phase lag to be added at gain crossover frequency in order to bring the system to the verge of instability. The gain crossover frequency omega gc is the frequency at which the magnitude of the open loop transfer function is unity, or it is the frequency at which the dB magnitude is 0. The phase margin gamma is obtained by adding 180 degrees to phase angle pi of open loop transfer function at the gain crossover frequency. That is, gamma is equal to 180 degrees plus pi gc, where gamma gc is nothing but anglet g of j omega gc. And in the same way, gain margin, the gain margin kg is defined as the value of gain to be added to system in order to bring the system to edge of instability. Gain margin kg is equal to 1 by magnitude at g of j omega pc. The gain margin is in dB can be expressed as gain margin in dB is equal to 20 log of kg, that is nothing but 20 log of 1 by magnitude at g of j omega pc. So let us discuss these definitions after sketching the magnitude and phase plot. Okay, next. So what is gain margin and what is phase margin? Okay, if this one is the magnitude plot and if this one is the phase plot, this point is nothing but omega gc, that is nothing but gain crossover frequency, and this point is nothing but omega pc, phase crossover frequency. Okay, so at phase crossover frequency we are extending one straight line from this point, at omega pc, and we have to check where this straight line intersects the magnitude plot. Okay, so this is the point where it intersects the magnitude plot, and this is nothing but gain margin, positive gain margin. And in the same way, so we are going to extend one line towards the downward towards the phase plot where this line intersects the phase plot, that is nothing but phase margin. Okay, so this one is positive phase margin and this one is positive gain margin, and this one is negative gain margin and this one is negative phase margin. Okay, so Bode stability criterion. The stability conditions are given below. For system to be stable, both the margin should be positive, that is nothing but phase margin should be positive and the gain margin should be positive, and phase margin should be greater than the gain margin. For marginally stable system, both margins should be 0 and phase margin should be equal to the gain margin. For unstable system, if any of them is negative or phase margin should be less than or the gain margin. So let us check the cases here. In this case, omega g is less than omega p. So in this case, you will get gain margin and phase margin both are positive. If you observe this case, in this case, this one is omega p and this one is omega g. Omega p is less than omega g. That is omega g is greater than omega p. So here we got negative gain margin and negative phase margin. So this one is unstable system. Coming to the marginally stable system, omega gc is equal to omega pc. So he in this case gain margin and phase margin is 0. So this one is marginally stable system. So let us discuss the stability in Bode plot by example. So we want to find the stability of the system given open loop transfer function. We have to decide the stability of the system by using the phase margin and gain margin. The given transfer function is g of s is equal to 75 into 1 plus 0.2 s by s into s square plus 16s plus 100. So first we have to, before substituting s is equal to j omega, why we are not substituting s is equal to j omega in the first step is because if we substitute the j omega, we can't find the corner frequency for this second order term in the denominator. So first we have to find the corner frequency for the second order term in the denominator, and then we can substitute s is equal to j omega. So for example, if there is a first order term in the numerator or first order term in the denominator, by looking into the term directly we can say what is the time constant, and from the time constant we can find the corner frequency. But if you observe this term is not looking as 1 plus j omega tau or something else like that. So that is the reason it is difficult to find the corner frequency for this one. Okay. So first what we have to do is that we have to find the corner frequency for s square plus 16s plus 100. So if we compare this one with the standard form of second order system, so that is s square plus 16s plus 100 is equal to s square plus 2 zeta omega n into s plus omega n square. From here we will get omega n square is equal to 100, omega n is equal to 10. The natural frequency of this term is nothing but corner frequency for this term. Okay. So after finding the omega n, that is nothing but corner frequency for s square plus 16s plus 100. So let us convert this term to look as imaginary real plus imaginary part. Okay. And then substituting j omega. After substituting s is equal to j omega and separating the real and imaginary parts, you will get 0.75 into 1 plus j 0.2 omega by j omega into 1 minus 0.01 omega square plus j into 0.16 omega. So the corner frequencies are omega c1 is equal to 1 by 0.2. So 1 by 0.2, what is 0.2 here? This 0.2 is nothing but we got this 0.2 from this term, that is nothing but first order term in the numerator. So that is 5 radians per second, and omega c2 which is omega n 10 radians per second. We got this one from this complex term, second order term in the denominator. So here I'm showing here, and next one. So as we already know that one, so from the terms we have to obtain the table. Okay, see here, so constant term and integral term, this one 75 by yes, so that is nothing but 0.75 by j omega. Okay, so for this term there will not be any corner frequency, that is the reason this term is the first term. And next one is 1 plus j 0.2 omega, and next one is 1 by 1 minus 0.01 omega square plus j into 0.16 omega. So for 0.75 by j omega there will not be any corner frequency, and 1 plus j 0.2 omega we got the corner frequency, that is 5 radians per second. And next 1 by 1 minus 0.01 omega square plus j 0.16 omega, we got the corner frequency omega c2 is 10 radians per second. So in the previous slide we have discussed that one, how to derive this one. Next one, for integral term, what is the slope? Minus 20. And first order term in the numerator, the slope is 20 dB per decade. For second order term in the denominator, that is minus 20 and dB per decade. Since it is second order term, minus 20 into 2, that is nothing but minus 40 dB per decade. Now we have to obtain the change in slope. For this first term, there is no previous slope, so that is we are not calculating change in slope, that is dB per decade. And for this term, the previous slope is minus 20, the present slope is 20, finally 0 dB. And for this term, the previous slope is 0 and the present slope is minus 40, that is minus 40. Since the frequency response, in the frequency response, we have to consider the low frequency and high frequency. So we are assuming omega L and omega H. Here the condition for omega L is omega L should be less than omega C1 and omega H should be greater than omega C2. Let us take omega L which is less than omega C1, that is 0.5 radians per second, and let us choose omega H which should be greater than omega C2, that is 20 radians per second. So as I mentioned in the previous session, we have to find the magnitude at omega L and omega C1 by using the first term of this table. So that is nothing but magnitude at omega is equal to omega L is equal to 20 log of 0.75 by j omega. So what will be the magnitude? 20 log of 0.75 by omega. What is omega? At omega L, what is omega? It is nothing but 0.5 radians per second. 0.7 by 0.5. It is nothing but 3.5 dB. In the same way, at omega is equal to omega C1, the magnitude is 20 log of 0.7 by 5 minus 16.5 dB. In the same way, from omega is equal to omega C2, we have to use the table. At omega is equal to omega C2, magnitude is slope from omega C1 to omega C2 into log of omega C2 by omega C1 plus magnitude at omega is equal to omega C1. What is slope from omega C1 to omega C2? This one is omega C1 and this one is omega C2. What is the change in slope? It is nothing but 0 dB per decade. That is 0 into log of 10 by 5. Omega C2 is 10 and omega C1 is 5. Plus the magnitude at omega is equal to omega C1. We got minus 16.5, that is finally minus 16.5 dB. And in the same way at omega is equal to omega H, we got minus 28.5 dB. Now we have to obtain the phase plot. So pi is equal to angle at g of j omega. So which is equal to tan inverse of 0.2 omega minus 90 minus tan inverse of 0.16 omega by 1 minus 0.01 omega square. So this one is valid for omega is less than or equal to omega n. For this values of omega, that is omega less than or equal to omega n, the tan theta lies in the first quadrant, okay, but where omega is greater than omega n, okay, so the phase lies on the second quadrant. So that is the reason we are adding the phase correction of 180 degrees to this last term, okay. For example, if you take omega is less than omega n, what is the value of omega n actually? So we got the value of omega n as 10 radians per second. So for the values less than 10 radians per second, for example, if you take omega as 1 radian per second, 0.16 by 1 minus 0.1. So tan inverse of positive, we will get tan inverse of positive. So this one is first quadrant. If you take omega is greater than omega n, okay. If you take, for example, if you take omega as 100 radians per second, so finally this will become tan inverse of 0.16 into 100 by 1 minus 0.01 into 100 square. 100 square means 1000. 1 minus 0.01 into 1000 means which is greater than 1. 1 minus large value is negative value. So this here tan will be negative, which lies on the second quadrant. So that is the reason we have to do the phase correction of 180 degrees. In the same way, by varying the value of omega, you will get the phase angle pi, that is angle at g of j omega. Now let us sketch the magnitude and phase plot by using the magnitude values and phase values. Okay. So as usual, on the x-axis we are going to vary the value of omega, and on the left hand side of the y-axis we are taking the magnitude values, and on the right hand side we are going to take the phase values. We are going to vary the value of phase values. So by using the magnitude values and phase values, just plot the magnitude and phase plot like this. Okay. Now what you have to do is that just draw one line at a 0 dB. At 0 dB you have to draw one line. See here, draw one line. So this is the point where omega is equal to omega gc, that is nothing but gain crossover frequency. Okay. So now extend one line from the gain crossover frequency. So this one is 0 dB. So this one is 0 dB line. Now extend one line here. See here, this one is 0 dB line. This is omega gc. This line touches the phase plot here. Phase plot. Okay. So here the angle is 90 degrees. So that is nothing but gain margin gamma is equal to 90 degrees. Okay. And next one, we have to find the gain margin. So the gain margin is obtained at, since this phase plot does not touch us to the minus 180 degrees line, so we can't get the phase crossover frequency omega pc. So that is the reason we have to assume that omega pc is existing at the infinity point. In this case, omega gc is less than omega pc. The first condition is satisfied, that is nothing but the system is stable system. So and then we have to find the gain margin and phase margin. Okay, so we got the phase margin as pi is equal to 180 degrees plus pi gc. So what is the value of pi gc? Phase at gain crossover frequency. So this is nothing but omega gc. What is the phase here? See here, this one is minus 180 degree, 88 degrees. So that is pi gc. 180 degrees plus pi gc, that is 180 degrees minus of minus 88 degrees, that is 90 degrees. We got the phase margin as positive value, and the first condition is satisfied, that is omega gc is less than omega pc. So we already know that for the system to be stable, omega gc should be less than omega pc. First condition is satisfied, and the second condition is phase margin should be positive. We got plus 90 degrees. In this condition is also satisfied. Since we can't find the omega pc, we can't find the gain margin. Okay, since out of three conditions, two conditions are satisfied, we can say that the system is stable. Okay, so this is the stability analysis regarding to the Bode plot. Thank you.